Very excited to report 7.10 has arrived. Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we are headed back to the world of Last Epoch, who just dropped its major patch 7.10. Now obviously over the last few weeks I've covered the patch preview, I've covered all the little nuggets of information that 11th Hour Games has told us about this game, but there is a lot more to get into, and that is what we're going to be discussing here today. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. Now, what I'm going to do, because I don't want this video to be boring where I'm just reading paragraph after paragraph, I'm going to play for you the 7.10 official overview video. Of course, it'll be in 4K. Then we'll log into the game and I will show you the changes and give you my thoughts and opinions. But first, I'm going to read through you just the sections that they have changed, okay? There's 18 different parts to this update. Loot filters has been changed, campaign rework and changes, boss fights, town portal, crafting, skills, and that's new skills and removing skills, new set, new uniques, item changes, mechanics balance, other changes, defense systems, resistances, block attribute changes, set affix changes, other affix changes, unique changes, base item changes, blessing changes, poison ailment changes, mark of death changes, frostbite ailment changes, shock ailment changes, skill changes, specialization tree changes, manifest armor tree changes, acolyte and mastery passives, mage and mastery passives, primalist and mastery passives, sentinel and mastery passives, monolith of fate. That is what is in this update. Yes, it is massive. And obviously the biggest one is loot filters. So again, I'm not going to read through all that for you, but what I am going to play for you is the official overview video, and then we're going to log into the game. Enjoy.
Patch 0.7.10, which introduces new systems and updates aimed at addressing some of the hottest topics throughout the community and pushing closer to our 1.0 launch. First and foremost, 0.7.10 includes Epoch's new loot filter system. The loot filter provides you a way of hiding and highlighting items, so you're spending less time scouring through items and more time enjoying the game. Creating loot filters is easy and deeply customizable. Create rules that determine items that are hidden, shown, or highlighted, which can be reordered to overrule each other. You can target item types, rarities, affixes, item levels, and more. You can also share loot filters you create with friends, or include them in build guides. We've completely overhauled Chapter 2 and 3 of the campaign with new visuals and story interactions, along with many changes to Chapter 6. We hope you are much more immersed in the destruction the Void has brought to the Last Refuge as you travel through the updated ruined era of Etera. 0.7.10 brings major changes to defenses that should make them easier to understand and more enjoyable to gear for. Damage type protections are being replaced with a new damage type resistances system. Glancing blows is being repurposed significantly, and now is no longer a stat that you will aim to have capped. Core attribute benefits have been tuned, along with Vitality now providing health and health regeneration, instead of protections to Void, Necrotic, and Poison. And now armor is separate from the resistances system and mitigates damage from all kits. We've added the chance to have critical successes while crafting, which adds an additional tier of an affix if you get lucky. We've also removed destructive fractures from the game entirely, so overall your crafting experience should feel more rewarding. Acolyte players, you'll be greeted with a completely new suite of animations when logging in next. We've implemented 3 new skills. Firebrand for the Spellblade, which is a melee attack that grows in power and size as you strike with it. Infernal Shade for the Acolyte, which allows you to place a shade on an enemy, dealing fire damage to it and nearby enemies. And Shield Bash for the Sentinel, which stuns and deals damage to enemies in an area in front of you. We think you're really going to enjoy the skill trees that come along with these skills, which as always can augment and change them significantly to fit your playstyle. 0.7.10 comes with many other updates, including an updated skill tree panel that will show you what damage types you can unlock in skill trees. We've added many design elements to skill trees so they visually stand out from one another. Bosses now reset on player death. There are new monster mods, new items and uniques, a number of performance updates, and NPCs will feel more lively with additional voice acting that we will continue to add over time. We look forward to seeing you in Atera.
The void has begun.
Alright, we are now logged into the game, and what we're going to start with is the loot filter. So escape, settings, and what you'll see under gameplay is loot filter and manage loot filter. So when you click this is the screen that currently pops up, loot filter basics, and it gives you a little example. I'm going to create a new loot filter, create new loot filter, type example, description, sub to action RPG. If I can type, looks good to me. Throw a little fire up there, and we'll use orange. Okay, now we've got example, sub to action RPG. Now what you're going to do is you can add up to 75 rules for each loot filter. So we would click this, and then you can add a condition. Now the conditions, you can put pretty much anything. Check this out. Let's say you want to check rarity. Okay, so rarity on here, you don't want normal. You want only rare, exalted, unique, and set. Add. Done. So now magic and normal items will not show up on the ground. Add condition. Affix. What affix do we want to add? Let's say we only want to see melee. Melee. And all melee. Confirm. Tier. We'll leave it at any. Add. We now have our loot filter where we will only see those items, and obviously you can make it way more sophisticated, and you can copy other people's if you want to import them in. I haven't messed with that yet, but that is ultimately the system for loot filter, and it's going to be a true game changer for Last Epoch. Now when you go over to my gear, one thing that I also really like that 11th Hour Games does is when they update items and affixes, it actually updates all the items you've already found. Now a lot of action RPGs, they don't do that. Basically all that stuff you used to have is now garbage. You just go and scrap it, and you got to go back and find all new items. Well, not Last Epoch. They literally went back and updated every item you had saved, including all your uniques. So in here under my common gear, yes, I pretty much have every unique. I got to go find all the new ones, and I always keep all the stuff. But in here, everything has been backdated and everything has been changed. So you can go through and look at your uniques. There might be something that would work now for your build that didn't. And the big one that everybody uses is Woven Flesh. Now, Woven Flesh used to give you 100% glancing blow. The item has been reworked, and now it gives you 100% critical strike avoidance, which is really nice. Like, I actually like Woven Flesh better now than compared to how it used to be. So, I mean, I think that's awesome. Again, it just gives you more variety when it comes to building out your character, so go back and check your uniques. Now let's look at character sheet, which also looks different. So on here, you used to have protections, that's now gone, and now we have resistances. We have a new resistance, which is physical, which used to be armor, but armor is now moved down here under additional defenses, which took the place of glancing blow. Now under your defensive stats, you still have chance to receive a glancing blow right here at 0 for me, and I still don't know how much glancing blow you can get from items you find, but as soon as I figure that out, I will let you know. Now any items that you were wearing that gave to glancing blow has moved over to elemental resist. That's why so many people right now are maxed at over 75% for their resistances for fire, lightning, and cold. For example, this sentinel that I've been working on is level 69. Right now it's at 138 to fire, 117 to lightning, and 102 to cold because I was maxed at glancing blow. So we're gonna have to see how hard it will be to get all of them to 75, but I feel like it's gonna be easier than people think. So again, now it's going to be, you want your resistances at 75, you're still going to want your critical strike avoidance at 100, and then you're going to want as much armor as humanly possible, because armor will help you against all damage types. Over to user interface for skills, and I want to start by saying that this looks so much cleaner, so much more professional, so much more user friendly. Like, the old way they had it did not make sense, and I really, really like this setup. Anytime they do something for the community that's quality of life, like, you got to give them a slow hand clap. Okay, so looking at this, very simple to understand. You have your base class, so a Sentinel. Then you have all the skills for Void Knight, all the skills for Forge Guard, and all the skills for Paladin. Now, if you've unlocked the skill, it'll be colored. If you haven't unlocked the skill, it's kind of grayed out a little bit. And then if it's a skill you want, it'll tell you right here, requires 5 points of Void Knight, requires 10 points of Void Knight, requires 15 points of Forge Guard. So it'll tell you what you need to unlock the skills, but what's nice is you can click into the skill to see what is the tree look like. So when you're planning out your build, you don't have to unlock the skill to order to look at the tree. You can just look at it because it's right here. On top of that, you see these little emblems here, and the fist is for melee. This little gray fire right here, it's for physical. And obviously you have the fire for fire. Void is purple, and it looks like I don't have anything on here. Oh, here's lightning. And then I don't have anything ice, I don't think. Now, what's interesting about this is if I clicked on a skill and it had a way to turn it from physical to ice, when you actually go back to the interface, it'll actually pop up it right there. So some people like change their leap to lightning, and then when you go and look at leap, now there's a little lightning symbol next to it. So it's kind of neat the way that they set this up, but that is the user interface for skills. Crafting experiment time. I have a terrible helmet. I have put it into the forge, and we're going to do everything we can to get a new critical success while crafting this, which is new to 7.10. All right, let's use necrotic resistance and critical success now. Sorry, I meant now. Got it. Critical success +1 tier to necrotic resistance. Look at that. So it should have been tier 3, and now it's tier 4. I like it. Been logged into the game running echoes for a few hours. Anytime any game drops a new patch or update, I always want to do my due diligence and make sure I play it for a while so I can give you an honest and fair review. I'm going to try to not be biased because Last Epoch is currently my favorite game, and I really, really love what 11th Hour Games is doing here. So this is my assessment of 7.10. I really, really like it, okay? I'm sure most of you knew that I was going to say that, but the game feels as smooth as ever. The new areas that they updated from a visual perspective look unbelievably clean. Like, they look so much better, like a true next-gen action RPG. But that's only on the areas that they've gone through so far. So from a visual perspective, they still need to up their game on everything else, and I know that they will get there. The user interface is so much more user-friendly. The way they break down the gear affixes looks so much better. So far, I feel really good, including the crafting system, how they have updated to that. So I really like 7.10, and of course, my favorite feature of this update is the loot filter. It just makes it so much easier. As I do my runs, even if I pick up only 1, 2, maybe 3 items, at the end I see if they're craftable. If not, I can jump back in the echo. So I can just continuously run more echoes, and it just makes it so much quicker. And again, you're not stopping to pick up loot, so you can run through it fast. So I'm really happy with 7.10. If you have not logged in and gotten this yet, you definitely should. Alright everybody, that's the video, but before we get out of here, I have one more thing to show you. Now earlier in this video, when I was scrolling down to show you all the patch notes, I did not scroll down far enough. Check this out. I forgot to show you the skill balance. Almost every single skill in the game has been updated. Look at this. Almost all of them, which also means I need to update all of my build guides. That'll be fun. Scrolling. Then also the passives for multiple classes have been updated. other changes, visual changes, sound changes, enemy changes, optimization, which is always good. That's what I told them they need to focus on the most. Bug fixing, all these bugs, more passives, items, visuals, mechanics, enemies, and user interface. That is the entire update. Let me go through it quick. Getting blinded? Are you blinded yet? No? Keeps going. Keeps going. Keeps going. And that's it. That is how large 7.10 is. But I want to know what everybody thinks. Have you logged in? Have you messed with the loot filter yet? Should I import your loot filter? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. Over 340 members, close to 350. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together so you never start the server alone, and amazing conversations around Last Epoch. The link for that Discord is in the description. That's all I got. Stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to join the official Action RPG Discord. Aaron, out.